Here we're going to start to create the script that will help the main character equip weapons and items and gears. So let's create that script. I'm going to add it to the man_1. So inside of the inspector, I'm going to click on add component and all the way down new script. Now I'm going to name this script, let's say equip item script. All right, and that's the one that will drive every time we want to equip an item. All right, and then create and add. Here it is, and it's added. Perfect. Now I'm going to double click on it to open it with MonoDevelop so that I can start coding. And basically what we want to do now is be able to equip to the right hand. And how do I know it's the right hand? Well, inside of Unity we have the right hand here, so we want to equip the weapon to this right hand. But in order to be able to do so, we need to add some kind of a hook here, or something that says where we want to hook the weapon. All right, so first of all, let's go ahead and add let's find a way to add the weapon here. Okay, so let's add a hook. Click on game object and let's add a 3D object cube. The reason why I'm adding a cube is that because the cube has a mesh, so it's easy to see where the cube is. And take that cube and put it inside of the right hand, okay, as a child. Here we go. And now we're going to position it at 0, 0, 0, so that it's right at the center of the hand, 0, 0, 0. Okay, and let's make it smaller, 0.02, 0.02, and 0.02 for the scale, right? So now I'm going to zoom in so that we can see the cube. Here is the cube. You guys see it inside, and that's not where we want it to be, right? We want it to be more where the hand is, so I'm going to move it, and that's how we're supposed to do, okay? So I'm moving it like that. That sounds about right. I'm also going to rotate it a little bit. So I'm going to click on E to rotate, and I'm going to rotate it so that it fits inside of the hand. There we go. Let's look in the back. All right, so it's a little bit too much outside, so I'm going to move it a little bit. All right, here we go. So now the cube is pretty much inside of the hand. That's exactly what we want. All right, now what I'm going to do is rename the cube to something like hook right hand. Hook right hand. The reason why I'm calling it hook right hand is because we're going to have a hook for the left hand as well. So I want to make sure that we have this one correctly. All right. Something else you want to do is obviously remove the box collider and remove the mesh renderer. Just use the mesh renderer whenever you want to move it around. And then once you're finished, you can always remove the mesh renderer. All right. Now, let's go ahead and work on that script. Back to the script. I don't need the update and the start. I'm going to remove them. And here, what I'm going to do inside of the equip item, I'm going to add a reference to that hook that we just added. So public game object, and the name of that hook, let's call it hook right hand. All right, save this and let's go back to Unity and connect the hook to this game object. So inside of Unity, I have the hook object here. So let me bring up the as you can see here, I'm bringing up the script. So the script is right here, and as you can see, the rook right hand is empty. I don't have one here. So I can just drag and drop this, the rook right hand object, inside of the rook right hand. See on the bottom right? And I drop it. Now it does say hook right hand. Perfect. All right, so it's connected. Now let's go ahead and script it. Back to MonoDevelop. What do we want to do here? Well, we want to equip the item. So public void, and let's call it equip right hand with, and we're going to give it an item. So what is the item we're going to equip it with? Well, game object, a weapon, right? We're going to add a weapon on the right hand. Okay, but we still we don't know what weapon is going to be. We don't care what weapon is going to be as long as we know how to hook it. And here we need to position the weapon inside of it. So we need to position it where the hook object is. So weapon dot transform dot parent, so that it becomes a child of the hook. Okay, so it goes inside of the hook. Inside of Unity, the weapon needs to appear below that. Okay, but we don't have the weapon yet, but we need to we can create the logic. So by the way, how do you add the weapon? Well, you can do this in the start. Let's say void start, and let's add the weapon by going and finding the object. So game object dot find, and let's find it by name. The weapon name of the object is a sword dash simple dash one. Okay, but you can use the other sword, that's not a problem. You can even use a shield if you want, but I'm going to go with the weapons. All right, and right after this, I'm going to go ahead and say equip right hand with, and I'm going to call this one sword. Okay, so this, let's say game object. So game object sword is equal to this, and then this will be sword. All right, so we are equipping the sword on the right hand. All right. Now what we want to do is right here we want to make sure that that we have the position of the weapon that's correct. The parent is equal to the hook right hand dot transform dot position. So basically the parent becomes attached here, and then let's modify the local position of the weapon. So weapon dot transform dot local position is equal to, so let's use the vector 3.0, so it's right in the center of the hook. And then what we could do is also create an offset, but I think that will do for now. Okay, so we're just equipping the weapon here by adding it below. All right. Now, next thing we want to do is modify the script to be able to use that. All right, so first of all, we need to create an offset. All right, so we need to have some kind of offset. But first of all, let's run this so that we see it in action already. All right, so this is going to call that, and let's see if that works. By the way, let's go back to Unity, and inside of the gear, locate the sword and remove it from the objects that we don't see anymore, because we want to see the sword now. So just take it and move it out of this. Okay, so it's here, and enable it. Make sure it's enabled. All right, so we do see the sword right here. By the way, as you can see here, it's already equipped, but you can move it away just just for the sake of seeing it move. All right, and just to show you what I'm talking about, I'm going to put it at position 0, 0, 0. All right, and apply so that it doesn't have to be there. All right, let's press play and see it in action. Well, we have an error, so let's go ahead and look at this. Oh yes, so the parent transform, it's not position, it's just the transforms. That's what it is. Okay, so know that you are assigning the transform, not the position. I'm going to save that and go back to Unity. All right, the error is going to go away. Pressing play, let's see, and there we go. You guys see the weapon is attached. It's not perfectly attached, as you can see. It's way too high, but we need to create an offset for this, and that's what we're going to be doing in the next lecture. All right, but before we even get there, I want to play with the camera so that it's easier to see the main character in action. So I'm gonna move the character a little bit. I'm gonna take the character and move it a little bit this way. Now I'm gonna change the camera, so I'm gonna go to main camera and rotate it so that we can see it better. I'm gonna go to the game. I can rotate it. All right, so I like this angle. I'm gonna go with this angle, and I'm gonna move the position. Okay, so at this point, it's really up to you. You don't have to do that. But the reason why I'm doing this is that because I want to be able to look at the character easily. I really want to be able to look at the character with the weapon in the hands. Okay, and now I'm going to go with the size. So as you can see, if you want to zoom, you can go with the size. All right, I believe that's good. Moving the man a little bit so that it doesn't touch the bush. All right, this will do. Now if I press play, it will be easier to see the character in action. As you guys can see, it's a lot easier, right? Okay, so the weapon is not perfectly there, but we're gonna work on that now.